The sun is setting as Wendy Miller pulls her white Nissan up along a dusty embankment, just a few miles from the Salton Sea. She points out the window at a tiny tunnel in the ground.
The entrance to their burrow, it's like, is it under the log?
When you meet Wendy, she seems like a pretty serious person. She's a lawyer, a public defender here in the Imperial Valley, who represents foster kids and minors facing prosecution. But she also has this infectious laugh that spills out every so often. Like when she sees the tiny bird peering out at us from just across the embankment, a western burrowing owl. Burrowing owls are the reason Wendy moved here just a few years ago. In the mornings and evenings, she moonlights as a wildlife photographer, roaming around the county to document the birds that live near the Salton Sea. The tiny 9-inch tall owls with their brown feathers and wide yellow eyes are her favorite subjects.
And they seem like little people because there's an intelligence there that you can feel, and a curiosity it's endearing.
The Imperial Valley is home to the largest population of burrowing owls in California. Experts say that's because of the network of canals that wind through the valley, carrying water from the Colorado River to the region's fields of lettuce, carrots, and other crops.
The crop types themselves predict where burrowing owls are going to be.
Peter Bloom is a zoologist who has worked with burrowing owls here. He says they tend to live close to fields of alfalfa, one of Imperial County's top crops.
The alfalfa grows and matures. The arthropod population, that is insects, spiders, scorpions, and such, increases also. And burrowing owls in the desert in particular feed most on insects.
Bloom says that combination of the canals, which create places for the owls to live, and the farms, which create more food, have allowed the species to thrive. But in almost every other part of California, it's a different story. Across the state, burrowing owls have been disappearing over the last 20 years, especially in coastal regions like San Diego, Monterey, and the Bay Area. Conservation groups say that's largely because of decades of suburban expansion, paving over the places where the owls live. In some cases, they also blame solar and wind farms.
We're kind of in an emergency situation now.
Jeff Miller is a senior conservation advocate with the national environmental group, the Center for Biological Diversity. He's not related to Wendy.
We're on the verge of losing them from most areas of the state probably in the next couple decades if we don't do something drastic to turn that around.
Last year, the center submitted a petition to the California Fish and Game Commission, along with several other conservation groups, asking the state to list the burrowing owl as an endangered or threatened species. Either of those new designations would give the species new legal protection from being killed or removed from their habitats. That decision could have big implications for the Imperial Valley. The farming industry is nervous about new environmental regulation. The region is also hoping to increase its renewable energy sector. In a letter last year, the Imperial County Board of Supervisors argued that listing the species could hurt those industries and limit job prospects in the region. They asked the state to carve out an exemption for Imperial County.
We didn't want Imperial Valley agricultural interests feeling like they were being picked out and going to be punished.
Jeff says conservation groups are also split on what to do in the Imperial Valley. Some say owls here are facing too many risks. But Jeff worries about the political opposition that might come from farmers and other industries.
As long as they keep, generally doing things that keep burrowing owls around and allow them to exist, then there's probably no reason to have to list that population.
At their meeting in October, state officials seemed open to striking a balance. Here's Fish and Game Commissioner Erica Zavaleta.
It's not this choice we have to make between renewable energy or housing or food production and protecting wildlife. We have shown as a state we can do both. If anyone can do both, we can.
Wendy Miller certainly hopes that's the case. She agrees that the Imperial Valley may need a more nuanced approach.
It would be terrible to lose them. But I think you have to take into account human needs too. And you have to figure out how to balance that.
Back near the Salton Sea, we turn to leave the owls behind. Wendy says her goodbyes.
So yeah, this is really special, and I hope that people don't screw it up.
The state has another 6 months to evaluate the health of burrowing owls and make a final decision. In Calipatria, Kori Suzuki, KPBS News.